I just recorded an entire introduction with no microphone. Hi, I'm Sylvie from High Level Bandanas, and today we're gonna be making a book sleeve. So if you're even remotely on Book Talk, then you've heard of Fourth Wing or you've already read the series. I just finished Onyx Storm yesterday. My husband and I are both pilots, so we always have a book with us on the go. I found that it's really hard to make sure that the books stay in perfect condition, especially if they're the limited edition ones, and I'm about to send my husband off with my special edition Onyx Storm. I don't want it to get crumpled in the slightest, so that's why I want to make a book sleeve. Now, do I have 1,000 projects on the go? Yes, including this dress right here and my king size puff quilt, which I'm currently in the process of finishing. I will be making a full length video on it. And amidst those other projects, I wanted to make a Violet Sorrengail cosplay, so here is a part of her armor. My friend 3D printed some daggers for me, which I've already started painting. I just need to make the leather pants and add sheaths to everything. But because of that, I have a bunch of extra leather. I was thinking it would be really cool to make a Fourth Wing themed book case. Why am I forgetting the name of literally the thing that we're making today? But essentially, I will be using the black pleather that I'm using for the corset and for the pants. Now, if you just want to skip to the tutorial, skip to here, but I do have some great news. My husband and I finally bought a house. If you've been keeping up with me, then you know that we moved across Canada come September, and then we got married, and then we started brand new jobs. So it's just been crazy, hectic, nonstop. And I have just been with my parents in the meantime, since we haven't been in our city. We've been just training for work in Toronto mostly, or out of the country. And that's why you see boxes everywhere in every video. So I do apologize for that, but the good news is come April, I will finally have a space of my own again. It has been really hard to film videos as much as I would want to for you guys because I don't have really a space of my own. All my craft stuff is still half in boxes or crowding this room. I'm just really excited to finally be able to build a better craft room. So you guys can also expect kind of like a house renovation series coming in April. Okay, let's get right into it. And let me just show you some of the materials. So right now, I'm gonna have this exact same pleather that is currently downstairs ready to get cut, which I got at Fabricland. If you're Canadian, that's the place to go. Then I think I'm gonna be using this black bias tape. And then I'm debating whether I wanna use Velcro or, because I have some grommets left, I was thinking maybe it would be cool to like attach some of this and then make a flap which has a grommet on it, and then we can tie this to the grommet and then it'll match the corset. It'll look great. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, I'm about to actually make this the easiest tutorial you've ever seen. So we're gonna grab your piece of pleather. We're literally gonna do this in like 2 cuts and it's gonna be great. We're gonna leave about 2 inches of space on either side. So with leaving the 2 inches on either side, I'm going to cut it 10 inches wide, which is what I did here. So all the way up to here is my 10 inches. And then the book is 9 inches long. So I'm gonna, again, add 2 here and only 1 at the top. So we'll call that 12 inches long. And now that that is done, I'm gonna overlay this on top of another sheet. I just put my book back on top so that this doesn't move around because I'm not pinning anything. But essentially what I'm gonna do is cut out the exact same thing lengthwise. And at the top here, I'm just gonna make like a little triangle. So I don't know if you guys can see what I drew, but I've got a little line here and there that I measured, of course. I found where the center was and I drew a straight line up, and then I connected these 2 lines here so that my flap is nice and even. And now I'm gonna be cutting this out. Okay, there you go. Look how perfect that is. Woohoo! If this is your first video of mine, I apologize. It's always just a little bit chaotic, but that's okay. We're gonna go back upstairs now, which is where all of my sewing stuff is, and we're gonna pretty much do, like, this is literally gonna be like 2 more steps. It's gonna be prime, super easy, seamless. So this is when we're now gonna grab this and hope that we have enough. Just gotta thread my machine with black first so that I don't use baby blue. I'm like grandma core everything, and then I decide to make a leather book sleeve. Quilting a book sleeve sounds like a really, really fun time. I'm not allowed to think of a next project right now because I have so many ongoing ones, it's not even funny. So now you're gonna be pinning this wrong sides together. So you want your nice pleather side facing out and the suede facing on the inside. And make sure that the bottom corners are the ones that are matching. Me from the future, because I almost have it done. Before you go ahead and do what I just did, you're gonna grab a strip of bias tape. You're going to sandwich just the top of the front panel. So the panel that does not have the triangle on it. So this guy here, the top, you're going to add a strip of bias tape just along the top here. It doesn't matter how you finish the edges because those will be covered eventually by this bias tape that we're doing, which I'm about to show you. Honestly though, if you are lazy though, you can leave it if you're using pleather. Only if you're using pleather because the ends won't fray. Grab your bias tape, open it up. So both of my layers are sandwiched in between my bias tape. Now I do suggest you guys pin this in place instead of just rogue sew like everything that I do, but I'm gonna rogue sew and just sort of hope for the best. And then I'm gonna put my needle in place to sort of secure that into place. And now that my needle's holding it in, I can remove my first pin, open up my bias tape some more. Okay, is that view better? Is that view better? Hopefully it is. So my bias tape is open, and again, I'm just sliding both of these pieces in, making sure that they're nice and in there. And if you're good, you'd be pinning this, but I'm not. I'm just gonna go ahead and sew. So as close to the edge of your bias tape as possible. I should have mentioned earlier, you want your bias tape with the shorter side facing this way. Actually, let me grab bias tape that you can see. This is a better example because it's not black. You can see here, there's like a side that is less wide. So here you can see that the other side is sort of like sticking out. Whereas on this side, you can't see the smaller side. So you wanna put this smaller side on the top so you know that your needle is going through both sides. Let me finish all the way down. Once I get to the corner, I'm just going to cut this. And this is where it gets kind of fun. I'm just pushing it like this and then folding these two corners over like that. I hope that that made sense because I know my fingers were in the way, but then that way I can continue to sandwich everything on this side. I'll show you again once I get to the other corner. Put my needle back in. Okay, let me see if I can show you this again. Opening of my bias tape, I'm pressing it open like this. I hope that makes sense. And then once it's pressed open, I will, from this angle maybe, fold it over the corner. Again, putting it, placing it alongside so that it sandwiches, and then I sandwich it, boop, like that. Now when we get to this cornered edge, we're gonna do the exact same thing. And this should be a lot easier to sew through now because we only have the one layer. Ugh, and this is so nice because the inside is suede. I love it already. It's so easy to make. When you're almost at the finish line here, it's up to you how you actually want to finish it. You could just cut your bias tape. I don't think that looks as good. So what I'm gonna do is cut it just a little bit longer like that. And then once I get here, all I do is just fold in that edge so that I don't have a raw edge showing, and then it just sandwiches it like that. Okay, but how many times can I use the verb sandwiching in a video? Comment down below if you can count how many times, and I'll send you a free pattern. That's done. That was so easy. I didn't do this strip. Ugh, that's the first thing I would have needed to do if I wanted it completely seamless. You know what? You probably just saw me come to this revelation a while ago. Realization, pleather doesn't fray. So I think I'm just gonna leave it as a raw edge because it's just on the inside, so it doesn't really matter. And now what you could do if you wanted to is just fold it over and mark where your Velcro would go, and you could just sew on a little square Velcro on the back side of this and then on the front side of that. Oh yeah. Okay, you could grommet it. I have enough bias tape to have it be like ribbon. I think I'm gonna not do that. Grommeting though, I find is a little bit of a pain in the butt because you do need like a hammer. But what I think I'm gonna do is I have these snap buttons and that's a lot easier to do. So this is just a kit that I got off of Amazon, and I'm gonna use these golden ones. Here you go. Literally so easy, and it's already just like so sleek. So now what I wanna do though, because it's black and it's plain, and I'm not someone that enjoys plain things, except my job. That was brutal, I'm sorry. Anyway, what I wanna do now is either paint a little dragon on there or heat emboss, because I do have embossing powder. The only thing about that is that it's pleather, which is essentially like a plastic, and I don't wanna melt that. You could also 100% do gel pen, that would work, but here's my embossing stuff. So I have an embossing pen, and then I have this embossing powder. I just got these off of Amazon, and same thing with this embossing gun. This is gel pen. As you can see, that actually does work quite well. And then this is the embossing powder. So it did work. It does look like 10 million times better than the gel pen. Shoot. Okay, I think we're going all in with this. Mistakes were made. I started with like the head without, because this is clear, so I can't really see what I'm doing. And then I just put a whole bunch of the gold on it. And it kind of went like everywhere. This is so that I can spill it off without it getting stuck in here, and it can go back in this. So here's what I mean, like you can't really see what I did, but as soon as I brush it on, and it kind of appears. I'm gonna redo the head, don't worry. First draft after firing it looks not bad. So I went into sections and that helped a lot. So now I'm gonna go in and fill these in. Final reveal. The front ended up being my favorite one because then I actually had the technique down. I probably shouldn't have done the big piece first. This is not my best work of art. But to be fair, I was using a clear pen and then putting powder over it on top of pleather. It's cute. It's cute. It's fine. It's got imperfections, but it's handmade. And this looks good. So I'm probably gonna surprise my husband with the book because when he comes back from this pairing, he's gonna have finished Iron Flame and he's gonna be on Onyx Storm. So I'm gonna be giving him the book in this. Oh, let me show you how it fits. Boom. Look at how perfect that is. It actually looks so good. I'm so happy. And like, look how the light reflects off of it because it's embossed. This looks sleek. This looks like too much. That's my fault. That's my fault, but this looks sleek. I really love it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. It was really just a quick one. This honestly just took me maybe like an hour total. Let me know if you guys make it. If you do, definitely tag me in it. You can find my socials in the description down below. And on that note, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.